No, I gotta make sure that that's working because I'm not sure that.
You aren't that fast anymore. The time is 4:30 PM. The Pelican Rapids City Council meeting of 24 June 2025 is called to order. And ask those in our council chambers to sign the clipboard before you leave this evening. Also, if everyone would please put their phones on vibrate. Roll call of members, Danielle.
Councilmember Steve Strand,
Here.
Councilmember Shelley Gumringer,
Here.
Councilmember Kurt Markgraf,
Here.
Councilmember Don Perrin,
Here.
and Mayor Brent Frazier.
Here. Want to welcome each and every one of you that are in the city council chambers, also those joining us by Zoom. Please remember our city council meetings on the Pelican Rapids YouTube channel as well as channel 14 on Wednesday evening. Just a couple announcements for the next couple of weeks. Friday, July 4th is Independence Day. City offices are closed and our next city council meeting is scheduled for July 8th at 4:30 PM in the city council chambers. Any other announcements? Any other announcements? If not, we all please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 2 is citizens' comments. There is no one in the council chambers at this time. Item number 3, additions, deletions to the agenda. Any additions or deletions? I have none. Anyone else? Don't act surprised. Any other additions or deletions? The motion to approve?
So move. Second.
Motion second. Discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Item number 4 is approval of consent agenda, which I'll read. Item number 4A is approval of council minutes from June 10th, 2025. 4B, approval of accounts payable listing. 4C1, a staff report, utility report from May, which was in the packet. 4C2 is liquor store report, which is in the packet. Item number 4D, intent to certify to taxes. Item number 1 is address is 47 Northwest 2nd Street, parcel number 760099037400. Amount due is $259.16 in unpaid utility bills. Item 4D2, address is 34 Northwest 3rd Avenue, parcel number 760099010700. Amount due is $232.10 unpaid utility bills. Item number 4D3 is address 33 Northeast 1st Avenue, parcel number 760099016200. Amount to $232.10 and unpaid utility bills. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. That brings up item number 5 is rental housing discussion. This was just a discussion. We will not have to make a motion this evening. And I think both Danielle and Lance are going to present this.
Yeah, this is just continuing the discussion of last council meeting. So Sid gave us a proposal to continue his services as rental inspecting. We we've just had some recent troubles of just getting these landlords to get this done, and we're just looking for options to incentivize them to get things done before the deadline. You asked for a list of properties and things, and that was in the packet. I've been reaching out to other communities and things to see what they've been doing. There are not many. There was one maybe that does not do any kind of rental inspections right now. Most others even in this area have an on-staff person doing these inspections. So it's hard to find anyone else who is actually doing these, like Sid. Sid is increasing his fees to $70 a unit. I've talked to others around, that would be about the highest around, I think. Other communities are anywhere in that 25 to 50 range per unit. So that's where we're sitting. I'm trying to find another person or an inspector who would be willing to at least shoot us a price or anything, but I can't even find that. I mean, technically, we don't really need a special license to do it. So someone on staff here could do it, but it would be finding the time to do it as well. And there are benefits to have an outside person come in and do it.
Those that do it in-house or on staff, do they have to go to training?
I think there is some training and things, but there's not technically a license that you need to get, from what I understand.
So that's why their rates are lower. Because they do it in.
Well, yeah.
We sometimes.
I mean, our rates are only gonna be whatever Sid is charging, and it's nothing
Right,
that we're
right.
putting on top of it. It's just being able to pay him. Some other things we were kicking around to incentivize them is to raise our penalty. So if they're not done by that January 1, right now our penalty is $100 and then $10 a week after that. So if we raised it to maybe 500, maybe that would get their attention. I don't know. And then his fees are also after January 1 go up substantially as well, which that I'm fine with. I mean, that would incentivize people to get it done by that January 1. After January 1, I believe his cost to come would be 120, I believe. So I believe that's fair. I mean, if you can't get it done in that September to December range and you're not getting it done by the deadline, then there should be some penalties after that. But just looking on more thoughts on, we'll need to get this done in July sometime, or at one of the meetings in July, because the agreement would start August 1st. So I don't know if there's any other questions on what Sid does or his contract, or any other thoughts or suggestions on what we can do to.
Sid had mentioned the situation has gotten worse, correct?
Mhm.
So going back, is it like repeat attendance or record? Or is it vary?
In the past, it's always seemed like once they've gotten charged the $100, they are incentivized enough to get it done. I've never seen it like it is this year. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, that it's June and these people haven't. I mean, they're still getting charged the $10 a week, and they just don't seem all that motivated.
Yeah, but $10 is.
Right, but $100 on top of that, and Sid's fee is still going up, and I mean, they just don't seem motivated to get it taken care of. I don't understand it. Yeah.
It's as simple as make your appointment, be at your appointment, takes no time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will this, if they don't pay, will it be put on their taxes?
I've never had an instance where I haven't had them pay. Right now, it's just that they're just not even communicating with us. You know, we've sent letters. If we have their email address, we've sent emails. If we have their phone number, we've tried calling. They're just not responding to us at all.
What, other than monetary, is there any repercussions, like, if they don't get it done, the place can be labeled? We don't know if it's fit for rental, so we're not gonna renew your rental license.
Well, so right now, after the last council meeting, I went and talked to Todd and he looked it up and he can ticket them, he can cite them. So we sent out a letter letting these ones that are still out there know that if we don't hear from them and we gave them a deadline, then this is gonna be turned over and become a police matter. And so then after that, we're gonna turn it over to him and he'll cite them for it. And I believe they'll have to go to court and all that good fun stuff.
I think that's an option moving forward to do that
Yeah,
January 1 rather
yeah,
than
and we'll, yeah,
June.
Yeah.
bump that up a lot sooner. Yeah,
Do we know if the city has any liability if they haven't been inspected and there's an incident and somebody's injured or killed or?
I'm sure somebody could come back and try and say it. I don't know.
I think as long as the enforcement intent was there, that.
Yeah, if we show that we tried to do our part.
Is that high rise in this list?
They are not. About every, I don't know, so many years, I contact them and they provide a list. They get inspected by, I don't know what agency, but every one of their, units get inspected. And they have provided a list of what gets inspected for, and it's the same stuff that Sid does. So it would be repetitious for them to do it. And so we haven't made them do it. Where other agencies will come in and just do like one or two apartments maybe, or don't check for the same things. So we've kind of stayed, that's the way we've gone with it in the past.
They're funded somehow. So
Yeah.
they have the requirement to have an inspection.
Yeah,
So the other cities that do it in-house, do they have a lot of delinquent situations?
So I didn't really ask that question. I think, I know they have. I'm sure they have some, but I don't know if it's a major problem or not. I mean. They also have, I mean, it's part of their position as building inspector, so they're doing like construction inspectioning and zoning things as well, so.
How many are we talking about?
how many
That
pat?
are delinquent.
I think it was 5 or 6.
And are they different names, all?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, that's 5 or 6 different landlords. Owners.
So that would be a number of units.
Yes, I think most of them. I think there is one that is multiple units. Can't remember if he was like 12 units. But otherwise, the other ones are just like 1 unit. And we have a couple that were like inspected once, and then when they got the list of what they have to fix up, then we've never heard from them again, and so it's just.
So you're looking at a meeting in July when we want to finalize this.
Well, if we want to keep going with Sid, I mean, his agreement is for August 1st, so. One thing I was just thinking about, I think this coming year, there's only 42 units coming up for inspection. I mean, the other years, there's but right around 150 each year. I think last year was right around 150.
Yeah, I believe so.
So that's a lot less units. If there was ever a time to try it in-house, maybe this year is the year since there's only 42. If you were interested, we can I don't know how much of a time commitment that's gonna be. 42 units is still a lot. If we're,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the option route to go or not, because I mean, if we did, then we can set our price whatever we want.
Does it have to be a full-time staffer or could it be a part-time person paid by these rental fees like we give to Sid? That could be their income and as needed. You know, have somebody in the community or. You know, cause you have to obviously have some type of training for fire code and. Whatever else is required, running water, flushing toilets, I can't remember everything. Electrical outlets not overloaded, you know, things like that. But yeah.
It's basically kind of like a summer help, but just a part-time
Yeah.
for that fall.
Somebody in town that's retired that thought, do
Mhm.
something like that,
Mhm.
extra money.
Yeah. Okay, we can look into that part. It's a good idea.
Any other discussion?
So how often does each unit get inspected?
Every 3 years.
Sid does this for other cities?
I don't know. I mean, I know he's in Barnesville. I don't know if he's the building inspector there.
He's not doing rental inspections in Barnesville.
Okay.
That was one that does not currently have one,
Okay,
but I think he was, or
Yeah.
or he has done things for them. I don't know if was
Yeah.
rental or just building inspection or what, but
yeah. And I know like, and I don't know if Frazee, I mean, I know in the past he had done them in Frazee and I guess I don't know where else. But
So if it is in-house. But there still is the issue of the people that don't get the inspections done, that part didn't go away.
right,
So then still changing it to a legal matter would make sense,
yeah,
because that's scarier
yeah.
to some people.
Yeah,
Got teeth if you gotta go answer to a judge while you haven't had your
yeah,
place that you're letting people live. Inspected for safety.
yeah.
so sending the citation letter right away, January 1 would be way to go.
Yeah. That's what we're,
That's what I would do. I'd stick with Sid.
I guess we got at least 2 weeks to think about this.
yeah,
Discuss
And
it in the next.
yeah. Well, Steve had asked me to supply the list with the addresses on them, and so I'll do that in the next meeting too, so.
Are you looking to pass it next meeting or the last meeting of July?
I guess I don't, I mean, I suppose the earlier the better for Sid's sake, but
Hurt to have a very good idea which direction you want to go by next council meeting, at least. You don't necessarily would have to approve if you wanted to go Sid's route or,
Right.
I mean, you wouldn't have to approve it at that meeting, but have a good idea which way you want to go. We'll include that agreement again in the next packet and then any information we can have on the other option of a part-time employee or something.
Any more discussion before we move on? Any more discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item number 6, ordinance, liquor ordinance, which was in our packet also. Danielle, you gonna speak to that?
I was.
This is just an FYI at this point.
After spending many hours on this ordinance, we basically rebuilt this entire ordinance. And it's beautiful now. Made a lot of changes, but really didn't. We just updated it, I would say, because in the old ordinance, it didn't allow for like tap rooms or brew rooms or any of the newer stuff. And I wanted to make it more, or be more proactive in case any of those items wanted to come to town instead of reactive. So we added licenses for all of those items in here. Um, and so that's the stuff that we added to this, but, um, overall, we didn't make a whole lot of changes. I think I think in the old one, it only allowed for, um, 3 intoxicating liquor licenses, and we can have up to 5 by law, so we changed that one up to 5. But otherwise, everything else pretty much stayed the same.
Make it more restrictive anyway.
Mm-mm. Nope, and we allow, ours like was so old that it didn't even allow it to stay open until 2 a.m. Now we do allow if the place wants to buy the extra license to stay open until 2 a.m. They can do that. But yeah, so we just added those extra licenses, allowed for the 2 a.m. opening. And that's pretty much all the changes that we made. Allowed for, drinking in the public parks with approval from the city. So not anybody can just be drinking in the park whenever they want to, but if they come and get the license through the city, then they'll be allowed, like if a beer wagon or whatever wants to, for an event.
Like the music in the. park.
Yeah, they're allowed to, and there'll be one here for Pelican Fest, they'll be allowed to. So right now I've given it to you guys to look over. I do have it down at the city attorney's office for her to look over and give her opinion. I don't foresee her having it done in the next 2 weeks. But when she has come back with any of her comments, then I'll bring it to council. And we'll do our posting and then approve it. Any questions?
When you say we.
Oh, the ordinance committee that we put together. It was me and Brian and Todd and Lance and Brent.
We're meeting every Wednesday.
Yeah, it's the same group that talked about public nuisance and grass letters. And that's kind of all we've gotten done so far.
Any other questions? So we'll be seeing this again in the near future.
Yep.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move on. Item number 7, resolution number 2025-16, calling for a public hearing, and that was in your packet. Danielle.
This,
Speak to that.
this we actually get to do something about. This is, Mike Carlson asked for tax abatement on the, lot up on Ridgecrest that he's gonna build a twin home on. So we have to have a public hearing in order to do that. The tax abatement will actually be passed on to whoever the homeowner will be. If he doesn't do this now, then they can't get the tax abatement when they purchase the home. So it'll be up to $5,000 of tax abatement. Is it over 5 years? Up to 5 years? Yeah.
5,000.
5,000 or up to 5,000 or 5 years. So this is just calling and setting the public hearing for that. Any questions?
Oh, it was 2 lots.
It is, but the one he couldn't build on, we had to make that one
It's an outlot, so it's not buildable.
yeah, so this is just the one that he can build on.
This public hearing will be on July 29th.
Yes, yeah. So I can get it in the paper for the allotted days and all that stuff.
I move to approve resolution 2025-1.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second, discussion. 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 Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carried, thank you. Item number 8 is Lakes Country Service Cooperative Technology Service Agreement, which was in your packet. Lance, do you want to speak to that, please?
Yes, we've always contracted through Lakes Country for our tech services. It was just last year where they started doing this. They used to just kind of bill us as we use them. Now we're kind of in the contract so they can do a little more proactive stuff for us. Last year it was $1,800 for the year. This year it's just upped a little bit to $1,935 a year. I have had some other technology companies reach out and or propose some services. I just don't think we can afford any of them. They're instead of $1,935 a year, it's more like 1,000 or more a month. So I just don't think we can go that route. I think they'd probably offer a little more than what we're getting now, but overall, we're happy with Lakes Country. They are short staffed, so it does take a bit sometimes, but and we are slowly getting updated with things. We will be going to Office 365 finally. So we're hopefully getting caught up. I think we're a little bit behind on the technology side, but I think we're getting there. So just need the approval to continue with Lake Country, I guess.
I'll make a motion to change.
I'll second.
Motion second, discussion. 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 Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, the same, motion carried. Item number 9, administrator report, Lance.
All right, since the last meeting, I attended an EDC meeting, attended a department head meeting, met weekly with the ordinance committee and finished the revised version of chapter 6, attended the weekly 59-108 construction and public meetings, worked with SEH, continued to work with SEH and Elsner's on that needed work for the monitoring wells at the lagoons, attended the monthly MCMA regional member meeting, worked with Ottertail County to finalize the reconveyance sale and recording of the Southwest property, or continuing to work with them with that. Working with Jack Rosenthal of Boundary Pro on the preliminary plat for the Southwest property. Attended the pool grand opening, met with Frontier Engineer about the energy audits for the water and wastewater plants. Working with Lakes Country Service Cooperative on converting to Office 365, and met with Sight on Sound today about the sound system here in the council chambers. Hopefully it is working, but it's questionable. So we're working on getting a quote to get upgraded microphones and things. If you've noticed, if you've gone back on the meetings here just recently, the sound is not good, and we're continuing to work on it. But any questions?
For Lance?
Thank you.
Thank you, Lance. Item number 10, mayor's report, a few items in the past couple of weeks. Attended 2 city ordinance meetings on the 11th and 18th of June. Filmed a street project video on the 17th, 11th, 17th, and 24th of June with Jordan Grossman. Attended 2 street project staff meetings here at City Hall on the 12th and 19th of June. Conducted 2 different street project public meetings at the library on the same dates, 12th and 19th of June. Presented the welcome at the Friendship Festival on June 14th. Presented the welcome at the Pelican Rapids Aquatic Center open house this past Friday on June 20th. Met with Administrator Royson this morning to plan the agenda for this afternoon city council meeting, and then also presented a welcome and brief history of the river restoration project to the Lizard Sands Outdoor Heritage Council that was here this morning. They did a tour of different projects in, I think it was mostly Ottertail, Becker County, and they just wanted to know the history of our dam removal river restoration projects, because they are They are the council that supplied the funding to the DNR. So for this project we have here in Pelican Rapids. Any questions?
Thank you.
Seeing no other business or a motion to adjourn? Was that second?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Meeting adjourned.
4:59.